The first thing that I remember is just unconditional love. You know, this family really embraced me. Yeah. It wasn't like you're the foster kid, you know, it was like your son, you're my brother.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It was like, and I had two brothers and a sister, so it mirrored like my biological family, and I was the youngest. And my foster mom, Gloria, she said she could have had more children, but she was just aware that there was a lot of children out there that needed families. And so like, I was a bit confused. I was a bit like, you know, even this like age of 4 or 5, I'm like, but almost like, why me? Like, but why me? Like, you know, I'm different from you all. And apparently they said they went to the children's home, they were looking at all the kids, and they saw this little black boy with brown eyes, and they fell in love with me. And I'm like, okay, of course. But I'm like, that's a bold thing to do in the 80s, those times, man. Yeah, that's a bold thing to do.
In London.
In London. And in that part of East London wasn't as diverse as it is now. So it was beautiful, chaotic, confusing, but I think what happened is that they were very good. They were very good about going, you are Nigerian. They helped me know, I didn't lose my identity. I think the issue with when you have transracial adoption and stuff like that, it's about people losing their identity. And I think maybe because I was in London, so I saw other black people, but I think the important thing, they always reminded me of who I was. Not to the point of like, I'm reminding you you're different. It's just like, no, you're Nigerian. You see that person, that doctor over there? They're Nigerian. You see that athlete winning the Olympics? They're Nigerian. You see that football player? Like, so I felt like it empowered me, you know? And I think that then when I engaged with my biological siblings and then some other Nigerian friends, like I realized I had a balance. And I learned more about my culture and who I was. I remember going like eating gari for the first time. Or,
what was that?
You know, like, I was like, at first I was like, what is this? Then he put the peanuts in it.
Peanuts,
like,
the cold. You ate the cold.
Yeah, the cold.
You ate it cold like my father did. Then I liked it.
Yeah, I like the hot. I like that. I could never see
it.
There you go. That's like eating the foods, and my taste palette started changing and stuff like that. But so I really felt like being with my siblings, and then like a lot of my Nigerian friends, I probably have to thank them, man, because they really helped me sort of know who I was and grow up knowing like, oh yeah, I'm Nigerian. And there's a lot of that comes with that. And also there was space to be that in the home.
That's
you know
good.
What I mean?
Yeah, that's good. Was it something that, you know, either your mom or your dad said to you that really kind of helped you as, you know, put an armor over you to really kind of help you navigate going through being Nigerian, growing up in, you know, in the foster home? How did you navigate that? Was there anything that they said to you that kind of made you?
Wow, how did I navigate that? I think the love and protection of my foster family gave me armor. When you're loved so much, nothing can pierce you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
You're right.
When you're loved so much, nothing can pierce you.
And when it does, you know, you re-heal very quickly. So like if I'm gonna get racial abuse and I'm gonna go and speak to my white family, it's tears. I'm like, what the hell? But like that love, it would re-heal me. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think there was nothing said from my biological mom and dad, but if I'm honest with you, as a young kid, I watched and listened quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I watched how hard my biological mom worked and fought to never forget me, you know, even though some things, you know, could have been handled better. I watched of how, I could see how hard it was for her to be alone in the UK in those years, you know, lose her family. My dad took my two brothers and my sister, to be on your own, to be isolated, have mental health. And also I found empathy for my dad that, you know, disowned me for the first sort of 17 years of my life, but seeing him do his best as a Nigerian man, because rare for a man to win custody of kids, to try and raise 3 children. He was doing his best. Wasn't good enough and he made some mistake, but I think it's weird as a kid, I was watching and studying them, and I think it's why I lead with love and forgiveness. And some people are like, why are you cool with your dad, man? I couldn't handle that if he did that to me. And I'm like, actually, my circumstances don't dictate my future. Actually, all of this that I'm going through is not my fault. Basically, my dad's heartbroken. He came from Nigeria with a family, the pressure of being the eldest. You're supposed to be the guy, have all these, do education, get the houses and thrive. It didn't happen. He lost everything. So he's heartbroken, and he can't go back home because of that. And then my mom, her sort of leaving me, rather than me leaving and abandoning me, I was able to go, my foster mom told me this, she's like, your mom's not well, it's an illness. Mental health, like schizophrenia, bipolar, she's not in control of her actions. Yeah. So I can choose to say, oh yeah, my mom left me. She left me in a phone box and that's how I ended up in a children's home. Yeah. Or I can go, yes, that happened, but she's not well and she was spiraling, And the fact that she never forgot me, she kept coming back, like, what does it look like for me when I look at them through that POV? I see strength, love, I see flawed human beings.
How did you get that level of empathy? Because it shows up even, I was watching a documentary, an older documentary that you did with your foster family, and there was a point where you were being bullied, and you came home to your mom and your foster mom, and you told her, like, these kids are saying, this, that, and the other, and she looked to you and she says, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt. But you said then, but they do hurt. You feel a certain way, like that's not, usually you just kind of listen to the adult and you just take what they say, but it's like, it does hurt. I mean, but that's a level of empathy when I heard that and I go, wow. And then I hear forgiveness of your mom and her situation and your father and his situation, because that's not it. People say forgiveness, but it's an easy thing to overlook because it's a hard thing to grasp. I define forgiveness as giving up the hope that the past could be any different. Because sometimes you recycle it over. Well, how come this didn't happen? How come then? And you literally relinquish that and going, you know what? That can never be the same. I'm going to give up on that hope and I'm going to live in the present. And you've done that.
That's a tough question.
But you don't forget.
I mean,
forgive and don't
I
forget.
forgive and forget. It's because easier said than done. But I think I get it from my foster mom. I think without going through her life, she shared enough stories to me about her journey where I'm like, wow, but you're still so loving and cool with certain people where I don't know if I could be like that, you know? And she was a home help as well. So she was always like, she had a big heart, always looking to help people. So I think I got that quality from her. And I could see a lightness in her, because I feel like if you hold on to that stuff, it's heavy and it's hard to move forward. The hardest thing, my dad passing, and we had about 17, 20 years together, and then we stopped talking again.
You said 17?
Yeah, like 17, 20 years in each other's lives. He came to my graduation at drama school.
Oh, wow.
He would send me things. I was on the radio. As an actor, you need to build bricks. He build bricks. He would just like write all this philosophy and this strategy of what I need to do to be the best actor there is, And then suddenly it'd be like, Dad, hello. He's not, picking up my calls for his reasons. And I feel like if I hold on to the fact that we weren't talking, it's not gonna do me justice, man. It's not gonna help me. I have to accept that I did all that I can. Like your youngest son, I reached out to him, I tried to call him, I move with the heart. I think when you move that way in life, it's because it's a bit of contradictory. I said like love is like a super,
like armor.
Yeah. And it pierces you and you heal quickly, but it does hurt. So it's almost I'm repeating what my little version of myself did to my mum. Is that I'm still gonna lean with my heart, but when my dad's still like rejecting me, it still hurts.
Yeah, it's like, because even with a bulletproof vest, if you take a shot, you can still feel the sting through it. But the only thing is it doesn't pierce you. Because I'm listening to you, and I've grown up with a lot of friends and people who I know personally who have dealt with some of this, and they carry this bitterness, and bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping that the other person die. You haven't drank the poison. You've seen the poison. You smelt the poison, but you haven't let it enter your soul. Or how do you?
Basically, you know what? As I'm listening to you both, it's my foster family. Like, they took me in. My foster father, he raised 3 boys that weren't his own by blood. You know?
Your foster
my
father.
foster father, yeah.
So your
Yeah.
siblings are all from different.
Yeah, so that my mom was with a guy, my foster mom was a guy before that was abusive. She left him and she ran away with her 2 sons. Met my foster father, they got married, then they had a 3rd child, but they're first together, which was my sister.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I was fostered by them. So this man, and that capacity to take in 3 boys,
That's
like
crazy.
let alone, I'm just thinking about me, but as I'm listening to you, I'm like, that's what it is. It's that level of love.
You saw it.
I'm sorry, I saw it with action.
You saw it.
And it was never like, you're my stepson. It was like, he treated us all the same.
That's great.
He was treated us all the same. And I think there's that level of like, it's unconditional love.
Yeah.
It's that selfless of like, I'm gonna love you regardless of race, regardless of all these other things.
That's what we
Like,
want society to be. We just
Yeah.
want people to be like that. Just love.
Did you?
That's all.
Yeah.
What it takes is be all right. Be
You
nice
wish,
to people.
You wish that the world would
You
take
wish,
take
yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Did you struggle with seeing your mom go in and out like with that? Like I could only imagine, you know, like you said, wait, that's my mom. Did you struggle? Like, wait, is this mom? Like who did? Like I don't want to dishonor her by saying like how did you handle all that?
I had a few moments I struggled. I remember, because you know Nigerian moms, right? So I remember my mom came to see me. I must have been about 5 or 6, and like my foster mom, she, you know, they were a bit more easy on me, so my hair wasn't as well kept as it should have been.
Hell
You know what
no.
I mean? I'm allowed to go out and play. I've got my white knees. And so when my mom, she's like, come upstairs now. I'm like, no, I don't have to. She started beating me. and I'm looking at my foster mom. How are you going to let this lady do this to me?
That's not none of my business.
But I remember the moment my foster mom was just like, that's your mother. Like, she just, in her eyes, that's your mother. Yeah. And I remember like having that level of like aggression and like, I'm being reprimanded by I'm not used to it. It was so hard. I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't like you.
And
you know,
that's why
you know,
white kids act the way they act.
I don't care, Mom. I don't give a damn about you.
And they call them by their first name. I remember my friend Rick Osborne.
Yeah.
We used to collect comic books. We're in 7th grade. Comic books. They owned a little bookstore in Chicago. I grew up in Chicago. So we're reading magazines, you know. And he goes, Gail. His mother's like at the register.
Yeah.
Gail. I was like, who Gail? Oh, that's my mom. You know your mother's name?
Wow, yeah.
You know your
yeah,
mother.
yeah.
Like, you don't call your mother. I can say
yeah.
mommy.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
Right.
I said, I'm Godfrey Jr. and I don't know my dad's name.
He's like, I don't know my dad's name. But, and in this
That's
case,
insane.
your mom did, I think, what is an honorable thing, because that would be hard, because it's very easy for your mom's ego to get, your foster's mom ego to get involved in going, well, I'm the one raising, I'm the one feeding, and I'm the, and then she did the courageous thing by going, that's your mom.
There you go.
And like, and to me, like in solidarity,
Take
like
the beat.
to me, I was like, that's harder than anything to be in that situation where you're providing for the person, but you're giving the permission, like, hey, this is your
Go take the ass whooping. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
But also, I do remember my biological mom's also teaching me, and my foster mom was like, no, like, you know, you need to look after your hair. You need to moisturize. Like, all the things that I try and make sure if I'm coming on here, let me make sure. But that's important. Any kid, like any black, they need to know that.
Yeah.
But my white mom was doing her best, but she didn't know all the answers.
Right.
So there's that moment, and I do remember my foster mom said this to me. She said, the only reason I didn't adopt you was because you had a mother. If I adopted you, your mom would have no access to you at all. I could not do that to another mother.
That's really great. That's great. That's dope.
That's you know, I'm getting like goosebumps.
Yeah,
saying,
I just got goosebumps right now.
Wow.
As another woman to another woman, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
As a foster, because when you basically people that don't know, when you're fostered, I'm still my mum's son. But if my
I didn't
foster
know that.
family adopted
I didn't know that.
My mom has no
Really?
rights or anything.
I didn't even know that.
So if it was foster, my mom,
wow.
my biological mom said, I want this boy out of this house, she had the power to do that.
So foster and adoption is a little different.
So it's different. Foster and adoption.
I'm thinking it's the same thing. You adopt. Oh, that's my fault. If you adopt them, that's the foster. Oh, it's just. Wow.
Yeah, so foster is more temporary because a lot of people.
I didn't know that.
I basically, the period of my time till 16, it was like an adoption, but I wasn't adopted.
Oh.
Whereas fostering sometimes is temporary. It might be 4 or 5 years,
you can,
and then you
they'll move on,
or go to
that's
another
why
family,
my friends, like,
or go to another children's home.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedians that know that are foster kids.
Yeah.
They go, yeah, I was at this foster home that
There you
far
go.
ago. And I was like, man, adoption is horrible. I'm thinking it's the same. Oh,
it's different.
thank you for
It's
clarifying that.
But I do remember what I'm saying. I'm like, again, as a woman to a woman, she's like, as a mother to a mother, I can't do that to your mom, you know? And I'm so glad she didn't.
Yeah.
You know, because
why
why
do you think it's important for foster kids to know their biological parents?
I think it's so important because I think that actually helped me when we come back to the important thing about identity.
Yeah.
Right? I'm able to learn about myself through my mom and then also through my siblings and my dad. And when you're isolated from that, it's a bit harder to sort of know who you are and where you're coming from.
History.
Yeah,
history.
Yeah.
Gotta know that.
That's another 154 conversation in the books. We are bridging culture back to its roots.
From Africa to the world, we're telling stories our way.
So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share your voice in the comments. This is 154.